Hello, welcome to everyone in this video. Today I want to discuss about the solution on modern physics for semester 3. The question asked in 2021 Calcutta University. You can see this is the question paper. This is question number 1, then question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I request all of you first try yourself to solve this question. This question number 1 A B C D E F G, then question number 2 ABC, then question number 3 ABC, then question number 4 ABC, then question number 5 ABC, question number 6 ABC, question number 7 ABC. Try to solve yourself. After that, continue the video to watch the solution. First question says, which significant result was supported by the Davison-German experiment? In Davison-German experiment actually support the theoretical, that is the wave and the particle are related through this relation, that is the de Broglie hypothesis. These relations experimentally first verified by this Davison-German experiment. Here the written here, you can just go throughout, you can understand. Main things is that the experimental evidence of this de Broglie hypothesis is the Davison-German experiment. Next question, which fundamental law of physics is apparently violated in beta decay? In beta decay, angular momentum conservation is violated. How it is resolved? It is resolved by introducing of a neutrino. Okay, the Pauli explained the instance of beta decay, that the beta decay and of the second particle emitted this non-neutrino. So there is a contribution of neutrino which actually valid of the conservation of angular momentum. So that the operator x square p x square is not Hermitian. So Hermitian is that operator is dagger. Dagger is the transport of complex conjugate. A dagger actually you can write a dagger means transport of complex conjugate. So if you take the dagger of this operator, so you will be get these things, and you can see this is not the equal of A, this operator, so this is not Hermitian. Next question says, so that the group velocity exists the speed of light in vacuum. That means the group velocity is less than Vg. We need to prove. For that, the total energy in relativistic system we know is square equals to viscous square plus m naught square c to the power 4. M naught is the rest mass of this particle, and p is the linear momentum, c is the speed of light in vacuum. So E equal to h cross omega or h nu. So if you put these things, you will be obtain this equation, and finally you obtain this velocity, phase velocity, and you know the product of phase velocity and group velocity is square. So since you can see here the u, that is the phase velocity is greater than c, that is the phase velocity is greater than the speed of light. Since their product is c, one is greater than c, so another must be less than c. That's why we can see the group velocity is lower than the speed of light in vacuum. Next question say, what are the limitation of cell model? There are various limitation of cell model, that it does not predict the correct value of spin quantum number, example like that, and its following does not explain the following 4 stable nuclei: hydrogen, lithium, beryllium and nitrogen. And this model cannot explain the observer first excited state in the even nuclear at engine energies are lower than the expected single particle excitation. It also fails to explain the observation of large quadrupole of this having having a value away from the magic number. So these are cannot be explained by this cell model. Next, how does a single gamma ray photon of energy existing of atom create an electron hole pair without violating the conservation of momentum? A single gamma ray photon existing atom, this value can create a electron positron pair without violating the conservation of momentum, because the interaction happen near the nucleus of an atom, which absorb the necessary momentum to balance the newly created particle momentum, right? So this is absorbed by the near nucleus. You can see this value. Next, what are the metastable states? In the laser action, there is this an electron uprising due to incident energy to upper energy level. After that, it's released to a stable state and this transition time, their time is very low. Okay, so this table is more stable compared to that one, and then transition from up to low layer metastable state to ground state and emits light. This is the laser light. Okay, so the stable state, the energy level where the electron time stability time is more. Okay, so is written here, the laser system is material fast excited to a short light, a high energy state. This energy state, the lifetime in this energy level is very low. Okay, but here the lifetime is high. So this is called the metastable state. Next, derive the Wiens displacement law from Planck distribution law. This is the Planck distribution law with the energy density with wavelength range lambda to lambda, lambda plus d lambda is like that, and this will be the minimum at lambda equals to lambda n. So z equals to these things if you take, so dz d lambda is like that if we take this one. So finally we obtain this relation where it says that the maximum lambda arises in the spectrum, product of this maximum lambda is into T, temperature is constant. That means if you increase the temperature, the maximum value of lambda is lower, that is energy is higher. The 1s electron inside a hydrogen atom carries no angular momentum. There is no centrifugal potential. Why then does it not fall into the nucleus? Actually, when the angular momentum formula is like that, for L equals to 0, capital L 0, so there is no centrifugal potential. But this not fall into the nucleus because the electron cannot be coincide as classical particle having a definite position and velocity. The electron is a quantum particle in a electrostatic field and its behavior is detached by the Schrödinger equation and until ultimately by wave function. If we take picture in the image camera, that could be a sequence of the electron in 1s orbit of hydrogen like that. So their probability will be like that, but the probability density curve is this one. Next, in this state n equals to 1, that is the inner electron shell electron has a non-zero, non-negligible probability to be found at the nuclear position. So electron capture is a process in a proton-rich nucleus absorb an inner atomic electron. There is a changing of neutron proton. That means when this is a nucleus where proton neutron and this electron nearby electron is captured here, and the proton and electron combined makes you neutron. Next question, calculate the de Broglie wavelength of a electron accelerated through a potential difference. This one. So by conservation of energy, potential energy is equals to kinetic energy, that is p square by 2m equal to q v naught. So from here you will be obtain the expression of p and put this value in the de Broglie wavelength formula. You will be obtain 0.87 Armstrong. Given next question, given that the Bohr radius of hydrogen is this, estimate the binding energy of the ground state. Using your result, estimate the order of magnitude of wavelength of light emitted in atomic transition. So this is the formula of the Bohr radius and this is the formula of energy level. So if you combine these two things, you will be obtain in terms of A naught, and putting this value you will obtain the ground energy, this one. And after that you can easily find out the wavelength, that is the hc by E, because you know E equals to h nu, that is hc by lambda. So lambda equal to hc by E. If you put this value E, we already obtained last one, and this is EV. So you need to just product with the electronic charge. So finally you will obtain this wavelength. Next question, if rho is rho, which is function of r and t, is like that, is probability density, then so that the conservation of probability requires the probability current density, this one. Here actually the problem in this question, there is actually minus here. Okay, we can see. So the time derivative of the integral of the probability is like that. Okay, so taking this one, and Schrödinger equation is this one. Just taking the complex conjugate of this equation will obtain this one, putting the minus I instead of I. And if you take this probability and product them, will you obtain this one. Okay, and this is written by here using Gauss divergence theorem. So definite probability current density is like that. You can say this one, and take the TTT of this one will be obtained this equation. Okay. Next, evaluate this commutator. Lz equals to a I minus I h graph x del y minus y del x is this one, and product on this. If you just calculate this thing, you will be obtain this value is 0. Next, if the operator representing an observable in quantum mechanics commute with the Hamiltonian, what can you say about that observable? Okay, so this is the any observable related with Hamiltonian. A is diagonal dependent time expressed, so this must be equals to 0, and as per question, commute means this is 0, so finally this one 0. So the operator representing observable in quantum mechanics commutes with Hamiltonian, then the observable is time independent because the time derivative is 0. If L stand the angular momentum operator like this, then prove this value. So you can easily find out if you replace these things and partially derivative, you will be obtain this one. After that, you will be get in case of y cap, just put this the similar way, you will be obtain this one. And last one is this will be 0. Next, a particle of mass m is moving in the following potential like that, where the energy is less than v naught. The energy of this particle is like that. If you consider this is a v naught, the wave is falling like that. Okay. So using this probability density formula, and this is the inside, this is the reflected part. There is some reflection here also. There is some reflection, there is penetrated, like that, transmitted, penetrated. So you will be obtain this one, and this is proved previously using this boundary condition. So you can say that is as t not equals to 0, so there is a penetration happening here. Next, what are the magic number? Magic number is that in the binding energy curve there is some spike here, and these are the actually magic number. That is, with this number of if the atomic number or the if the atomic number sorry if the neutron number or proton number satisfy with this magic number, this is 20, 28, 50 and like that, then they are more stable compared to their nearby. Okay, or if these both neutron and proton are in magic number, then this is called dual magic. Okay. Next, why this is spontaneous neutron emitter, because this n by p ratio is like that, and in case of the lower means this must be equals to 1, that is n equals to p, but there you can see their ratio is 1.125, that's why this is unstable and it's spontaneous emitter. Explain why the closed cell nuclei must be spherical symmetry. According to various theorem, you can see that is this spherical symmetry, because like of liquid drop model, you can say there is surface area is small, so surface energy is small, so this is stable. In other words, spherical nucleus have 0 electrical quadrupole, is like that. Okay. Next, compare the liquid drum model with the cell drum model. In liquid drum model, there are various terms, that is the volume term, surface term, Coulomb term, asymmetric term, and this parity term. Okay, but they cannot explain this type of, that is the high stability of nuclei with magic number is not stable. And here the measured spin and the magnetic moment, the excited state of most of the nuclei. Okay. Then the cell model introduced with an assumption, that is the nucleus in a nucleus move independently a common potential determined by the arranged motion of the other nuclei. Proton and neutrons separate in Leib's level of nuclei determined by unpaired electron each nuclei is length. Model explain a magic number is like that. Uh, so I think you can go through the reading, you will be obtain this. Next, calculate the binding energy of this one following data. Yeah, this is the reaction. So mass defect is like that. The total mass of this one from minus this one. This is the mass defect, and this converted into the energy is like that. Why in stable heavier nuclei all numbers of neutron are excess of proton? Because the stability you can see n by p ratio is less than 1. N by in this region you can see there is a problem. In this region you can see n by p is less than 1, that is n less than p, that means proton number is greater. Okay, what happened, this is there is a problem in my laptop, what to do, wait. Okay, we already discussed this one, magic number, this nuclear spontaneous emitter, course symmetric liquid drum model. Then this is the binding energy and this one. Okay, so okay, just finish it. I understand. In this question says, in a laser device how its stimulated emission co-illuminated. Actually stimulated emission is happening when the there is lower energy state and you energized by this electron from that state, lower state to higher state, and this is the stimulated emission. After that this electron come to back and they are emitted. This is called stimulated emission, and this type of stimulated emission co-illuminated by this mirror collimator. Right? How the laser beam polarized? Actually the laser beam polarized because the electric field of its light wave oscillate primarily in one specific direction perpendicular to the direction of the beam due to the inherent property of the laser cavity, which often favor particular polarization state through mechanism like anisotropic, is like that. And finally the what is coherent length and how it is measured. Coherent length is the measure of the how far the wave can travel while maintaining its phase duration, and this can be estimated from the Michelson interferometer, where gradually increase the optical path difference between two arms of the interferometer until the interference fringe becomes of significant diminishes. Okay, so this coherent length is speed into the time, and the time can be measured. This n is refractive index. So you will obtain this coherent. Okay, this is all about me. This is my contact detail and this is my teacher. So take care. Meet you in the next.